Welcome back to Max Reaction. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a good day, positive day. Tell me something good down in the comment section. But for now we're going to react, and we are going to react to a video called U.S. China, the brink of collapse. And I'm thinking they're talking about our relationship with China. You know, the United States relationship to China. Well, guess what? We are on the brink of collapse, but we're not the only country on the brink of collapse with China. So is Australia. So is India. So is a few of the European nations. And of course, there's plenty of Southeast Asian countries that don't like China. Why? Because they overstep their boundaries. They push, and they try to do it quietly. Why does China try to do it quietly and take a little of this and a little of that, take a little of this land? Because they're cowards, that's why. The Chinese Communist Party are cowards. And we've been doing a lot lately. Trump's talking about banning TikTok. And you might be like, why would they ban TikTok? It's just an app to have fun on. Not necessarily. Because the Communist Party have big ties into TikTok, and they like to steal information. They like to spread their little propaganda. That's what they're good at. And who knows what else they might do with it. So, you know what? I say get rid of TikTok here in the United States. And I know it's highly popular in the Philippines, but it is what it is. It's not good. And there'll be other things, better things, that will replace TikTok that's just as fun in my opinion. But let's check out the video. Let's see what Pompeo has to say. He's the Secretary of State of the United States. Powerful guy. Let's see what he's got to say.
Communist Party also for what it is, the central threat of our times. Our vigorous diplomacy has helped lead an international awakening to the threat of the CCP. Senators, the tide's turning. 30-plus countries and territories have become 5G clean countries, banning untrusted vendors from their networks. When we talked about this some year ago.
Yes, and the Chinese are big into the 5G, and we said no thanks, and every other country should say no thanks, because that's another security threat. Do you really want to run 5G with the Chinese Communist Party running it, knowing the data, being able to steal the data? I personally don't want that. You can't trust the Chinese Communist Party. Communism never works to begin with. They will definitely crumble here soon. I know I'll get hate for saying that, but it is what it is. It's already starting. The world is turning against China because we all damn well know that they allowed this virus to spread. You know what I'm saying? They did that on purpose. Why? Because their economy was crumbling anyway. It's a fake economy. It is. They build cities just to prop up their economy. Cities that nobody lives in, you know? And they have a dam that's getting ready to break. There's been dams that break. The biggest dam in the world. Is that a punishment from God? Maybe. I don't know. Is it just poor engineering and design? Probably, because a lot of things the Chinese make are fake, counterfeit pieces of shit. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel me? Do you hear what I'm throwing out there? They like to go to the Philippines, and they don't have work permits, but Chinese work there. I don't really understand that, but hopefully we can clean that up, because I'd rather see Filipinos working in those jobs and not the Chinese and, you know, the Chinese Communist Party friends. It's not cool. Filipino people should be working the jobs of the Philippines. It just is what it is. So let's keep on going with the video. Let's see what else he's got to say.
Number was in the single digits. In the Indo-Pacific, Australia declared China's South China Sea claims unlawful and illegitimate, as have we. And we're proud to have stepped up maritime maneuvers in that body of water alongside our friends from Australia and Japan and the United Kingdom. The Department of Justice is cracking down on Chinese IP threats. We've sanctioned Chinese leaders for their brutality in Xinjiang, imposed export controls on companies that support it, and warned U.S. businesses against using slave labor in their supply chains.
They're good at using slave labor, sweatshops. That's why the world likes their cheap junk, because they can buy it so cheap. I say boycott Chinese crap. We don't need that. I don't need that. Do you need that? I don't. But he was also talking about the Uyghur Muslim concentration camps. Yeah, if you didn't know, you know, China don't like any kind of religion because, you know, communism is kind of a religion. You know, they kind of worship themselves and worship money and worship power, and that's what communists do. And they don't give a damn about anybody else. So they've been rounding up all these Muslims in China and putting them in concentration camps. And guess what else they do? Guess what else they do? It's cruel. There's a reason why China has like a 1 or 2 day turnaround if you need an organ transplant. You know why? Because they take these organs from these poor people that are in these concentration camps. They call these concentration camps, what? Work reform camps or something like that. That's just a total lie. These communist bastards are evil, and they will crumble soon because we all know they're evil. We know they released the virus. When you ban flights internal in your country, but you don't ban them going out to the world, that's all the freaking proof I need right there. They did it on purpose. They need to be held accountable, and they will. And like Pompeo said, we're also, you know, floating our cruisers and our battleships right through the sea over there because guess what? They don't own it. They may think they own it. They may think they claim it, but they freaking don't. They don't, and we're going to show the power, you know. Like he said, we're floating through there with Australia, UK. The countries are banning against China because who wants communism to rule the earth? I don't. I certainly don't. I like my freedoms. I like to be able to speak out, you know, and express how I feel, whether it be on social media, whether it be on YouTube like I'm doing right now. Could I do this in China? Why, hell no. They'd be knocking on my door as soon as I upload it and probably taking my ass to jail. I probably wouldn't make it to jail because I would fight until whatever it took to not go or be put into the ground because I don't roll like that. I don't. Anyway, let's keep going.
We've terminated special treatment agreements with Hong Kong in response to CCP's action.
U.S.-China relations could soon suffer a complete collapse.
Absolutely.
After Secretary of State Mike Pompeo warned, the tide is turning in regards to the international response to Beijing's aggression. USA relations with China have been suffering from diplomatic troubles amid the increasing criticism of the Trump administration towards Beijing. After confirming an end to Washington's policy of neutrality in the South China Sea, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo claimed the Chinese regime is the central threat of our times.
Absolutely.
Addressing senators during a hearing on Thursday, Secretary Pompeo said, "We see the Chinese Communist Party also for what it is, the central threat of our times. Our vigorous diplomacy has helped lead an international awakening to the threat of the CCP. 30-plus countries and territories have become 5G clean countries,
30.
banning untrusted vendors from their networks. When we talked about this a year ago, that number was in the single digits. The U.S. has been at the forefront of a campaign urging national telecommunication networks to make do without technology from Chinese brand Huawei over espionage concerns. In addition to e-security concerns, Washington, D.C. has also warned the U.S. is ready to intervene against China should any skirmish arise over the sovereignty of the South China Sea.
Absolutely.
The region has long been at the center of a dispute between Beijing and several other Southeast Asian nations.
I wouldn't even call it a dispute because we know who owns what, and China's just trying to push their presence on it. It's time to push back. All nations push back.
Mr. Pompeo welcomed Australia's commitment to defending the South China Sea from Chinese encroaching, as he also noted the U.S. has led efforts to condemn Beijing over human rights violations. He continued, in the Indo-Pacific, Australia declared China's South China Sea claims unlawful and illegitimate as have we. And we're proud to have stepped up maritime maneuvers in the body of water alongside our friends from Australia and Japan and the United Kingdom. Pompeo said that the Department of Justice is cracking down on Chinese IP threats. They've sanctioned Chinese leaders for their brutality in Xinjiang, and imposed export controls on companies that support it, and warned U.S. businesses against using slave labor in their supply chains.
Absolutely.
They've terminated special treatment agreements with Hong Kong in response to the CCP's actions to deny freedom to the people of Hong Kong.
And I feel sorry for the people of Hong Kong. The majority of people of Hong Kong want Hong Kong to be their own country, and China is forcing stuff down the people of Hong Kong's throat, and it's horrible. It's terrible.
Texas officials last week ordered the closure of the Chinese Consulate General in Houston after Secretary Pompeo accused them of stealing intellectual property.
And when we closed it down, guess what they did? We seen fires like on the roof or out by the building. Why was there fires? What were they burning? They were burning whatever they were spying on. That's what, you know. And these people that were spies in the consulate building that had CCP ties, they need to be thrown in prison, and the key needs to be melted down, and they never need to come. They never need to come out ever.
Beijing denounced the move as political provocation and retaliated by shutting down the U.S. consulate in Chengdu days later. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying branded the actions of the U.S. officials unbelievably ridiculous and demanded an immediate retraction of the accusations.
No. I think that's about all the video. So, is U.S. China on the brink of collapse? We're already there, baby. We're already there. And I already know who's going to be on top, and I already know who's going to be on bottom, because the communist bastards always lose. And they always will lose, because they have no God. They don't like religion. They don't like God. And when you have God on your side, you can raise above the rest. So, you know what I say to the communist bastards? That's what I say. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are my feelings. Strong feelings, but my feelings. What are your feelings? Comment down below, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Peace.